Greetings, Marines! FiOth here, and yes, we just finished a 10-hour stream. As you can see in the top right, I still haven't given in the intel that I collected from playing the Pathogen campaign, which was excellent, by the way. Totally worth the price of admission, and everything it brings to the game is interesting, to say the least, and amazing, to be precise. This is the best DLC we could have gotten, guys. The new campaign is a total aesthetic shift. New guns, new decals, new colorways, new armors, new headpieces, new perks, new modifiers for the kits, and so on and so forth. But I'm not here to sing the praises of this piece of DLC. There'll be a review for this. I'm here to talk about my latest build that became apparently clear that I had to create while we were playing on stream, and this is my Mini-MIRV build. And I made it because of the mini grenades perk modifier that becomes available after you finish Pathogen. So I'm gonna break it down. I suppose you saw some interesting stuff at the beginning of this vid, like a little clip I made, and by breaking it down, I hope it will become abundantly clear why this build is pretty much, well, the best I could have made. I consider this more utilitarian and deadly than my Vanguard build, and that says a lot because the Vanguard build up to a few hours ago was the cream of the crop as far as I was concerned when it came to gunner builds. So, Mini-MIRV. Don't ask what a MIRV is. Just go and Google it and you'll get a piece of trivia about weapons technology. This is a build that relies on the mini grenades ability Replacer Perk. It states, your frag grenade is replaced with 3 smaller explosives that can be thrown one at a time, exploding on contact and dealing AoE damage in a smaller radius. The grenades replenish over time. So, what we want to do first and foremost is understand what we're talking about. So, I'm gonna throw a grenade. I want to keep your eyes on the bottom left on the timer for the refresh. I throw one. 11 seconds. 11 seconds to replenish one of the 3 available grenades. Okay. And that is without using stay on target to reduce that. From the math that my friend Fred ran earlier, it should be 8.3 seconds with the build I made. That means you have 3 pieces of ordnance with 8.3 seconds of a cooldown, and by the time you've thrown all 3 of them, you'll be halfway there to at least getting back 1. It's an almost endless loop of grenade spam, and here we're talking about some really intense ranges and damage, and that's gonna get you out of a lot of tough spots. Let's see it in detail. So, mini grenades and disorienting blast, because what we're gonna do here is control large areas with instant knockdowns. 3 grenades, knockdowns on everyone with a huge range attached to them. Before we go into the specifics of the stats, we're gonna go to our overclock. Quick load interlink that could be 50% reload speed for the entire team. And stopwatch while overclock is on cooldown, you gain 20% of its unmodified benefits. This is an S tier perk, it should be in every build. Down here we have targets acquired. When you have full stacks of 10 target, your ability recharge speed is greatly increased. What I always suggest with a gunner is get an automatic with a high rate of fire, like the Zvezda, and just stay on target as the name implies. Keep hammering them. This will activate and you will have your grenade back in no time. In case of this grenade, with the time reduction that we're talking, just keep hammering that warrior, and before you know it, it will have taken like a shitload of damage from your grenades. One thing that I might have to make clear here is that I am not using shrapnel, although in my Vanguard 3.0 I was singing its praises. Why do I do that? Well, these grenades individually deal less damage than the one awesome grenade we had with remote detonator. There you could go upwards from 12,000 damage if the planets aligned and you had every buff going for you. But this will clock around 4,000 to 5,000 damage. Now, it will kill every runner in its radius on any difficulty setting. Okay, those hordes of runners that you had to sacrifice your one grenade to get rid of, you can just sacrifice one of these 3 grenades that are much faster replenished. Everything that's not dead is gonna get stunned, and that's gonna really hurt afterwards because they're pooped. And you'll have your grenade back in no time, because for every hit you get a stack of stay on target back. Okay, so that's pretty much the setup when it comes to modifiers. Now let's go over what we should get to have the ultimate benefit of getting our ability back, and the radius. The radius is very important. Batteries included, and rapid deployment will give us 40% recharge speed, which is the cap. It's the soft cap. Okay, don't go above it because you get diminished returns. Here, go for force multiplier 4, attach enhanced reach 4 and enhanced reach 3 here for 40%, and the final 2 nodes we have here will be force multiplier 2. This will net us 35% damage as a bonus, 40% ability radius, and 40% ability recharge speed. You can take this out if you consider it surplus and put in jackpot, hazard seals, whatever requires a couple of slots, even short control bursts. Damn, man, if you don't like any of those, you can go down here and get any one of the 1-tier perks that you can get by playing the game's new missions and opening caches. That's something we've been asking for a long time, and it makes total sense to have it in the game, because if you're just missing one node, you stick this one in and you're golden. For me, this is universal. We don't have to change it. For example, take this out and put short control bursts if we want to use the group up per se. Okay, this will work with everything. Usually my builds are ability builds, not gun builds, so they can work with whatever gun you choose to use. It's self-explanatory that you can focus on a type of weapon or a specific weapon and make the best out of it, but for me, the way I approach this, the best way to go is to go universal. If you want to make a build about a specific gun, just make a build about that specific gun and give the rest. As far as suggestions that are gun related go, an automatic. Get an automatic here and a reliable close quarters weapon here, like the Zdak or the Pamp, of course. So this is my Mini-MIRV build. I had a blast playing with this on the stream. I was laughing my ass off. And one thing I have to tell you about this build and the new perks in general is that now the classic missions are gonna be a freaking joke. The Marines are so much more powerful because of the new modifiers. Like if you go and read some of the descriptions, like the docks or the phalanxes, man, those are some crazy replacers. We're gonna make builds on every single one of these, of course, and you're gonna have them really soon. I wanted to also present to you the Astra attachment modification guide because it's an excellent rifle. But guys, I'm totally wasted tonight, like 10 hours of streaming and now a couple more hours working on this. I just don't have the energy. I'm gonna sleep, wake up, and present to you the new stuff. Sub, like, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing here, guys. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified about new uploads and streams. You were fantastic tonight. 190 people at peak hour, which is awesome numbers for my streams, which are dedicated mostly to a game that the people thought was dead. But guess what? It ain't. And I'll see you tomorrow in the next one. Until next time, be well, stay frosty, and always strive for perfection, Marines. George.